Hi, Mark again with ExoticCar PlayPlace. Today I'm going to review the 2017 Rav4. A little departure from my normal channel material, but nonetheless I thought I would give a regular everyday vehicle a little bit of a review. We're going to do a short review, talk about a few of the highlights, and give you my overall summary today so far. So make sure you stick around. So we're cruising right along here in a 2017 Toyota Rav4. This is a cute little SUV, obviously very popular amongst many people, young people. Obviously the modern styling has appealed to a lot of the younger people, and I think that's what Toyota's been trying to do, is gain some of the market from the young generations. And I think with this particular packaging, they've done a great job. So this particular car happens to be packaged up nicely. Obviously, Toyota's trying to appeal to a broader audience, a much broader audience. And with this nice compact little SUV that we call the Rav4 that I'm driving in today, I think they've done a great bang-up job on it. Now, this car isn't going to light any fires. It's not going to break any race records. That's not really the point of it. This car, what it is going to do is transport you and your family across town, across the country in comfort and safety, and for sure reliability, as obviously there's some safety features here coming out of the yin yang. There's all kinds of different features. There's even a sport button to engage certain elements of this car's performance. Now, speaking of performance, let's talk about that. We have a 4-cylinder engine, 2.5 liters, producing a whopping 176 horsepower. Not too sure that's a lot to write home about. It's not really, like I said, it's not going to run any races. What it is going to do is get you from A to B very reliably, and it's going to do it in such a way that it's not going to ruin the bank. It's not going to destroy you in terms of the operating costs. Obviously, the fuel situation is going to be, this car is a fuel miser, and that's the intent, and that's the point of this car. So unfortunately, you only have two options. You have the 2-wheel drive with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine with 176 horsepower, and you get the 4-wheel drive. So you get a 2-wheel and a 4-wheel drive option in this car. What you do have also in addition is a lot of rear seat space. There's a lot of room back there to haul your friends and family. There's adequate room for anybody of a reasonable size and caliber to fit in the back seats. The front seats, of course, too, are very comfortable and have no real limitations, other than unless you're on the extreme end of either scale. It definitely fits any particular size of person. Now, if you look in the trunk is not necessarily fully abundant in space. It does have room enough for maybe a set of golf clubs and a few groceries. It's got enough to package up your luggage for a short weekend away. It's not a real luggage hauler. That's not really the intent. It is a commuter with some conveniences. That's really all you're going to get from this car. You ask yourself, what are the things I like and don't like about this car? Well, I like the styling of it is actually really quite cool. You look at the taillights, they're really kind of space age looking. The style is very attractive from the side, and it doesn't hurt that you have these beautiful rims. I think that tops the look from the exterior point of view nicely. As well, what I do like is the fuel economy. Fuel economy along the lines of a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine is always welcome, and it never hurts to get a car that's easy on fuel, especially in today's day and age. Who needs to go to those gas misers, the hybrids? Obviously with an engine of this capacity, you're still getting the majority of that fuel economy, but you're not necessarily having to deal with the extra complexity added with a hybrid car. What else do I like about it? Well, you know what I've noticed actually with driving this for a while, I noticed how they dial in the steering. It's calibrated in such a way that when you're driving at highway speeds, it's a very nice gradual adjustment to the steering. It's an easy ratio to operate. It's comfortable. It's not too twitchy on the highway. It's got a perfect steering feel. But when you actually pull up to a set of lights and you're down to basically crawling speed, What I like is how they've, again, calibrated it so that when you're at a slower speed, it's very, very light and very easy to maneuver in tight parking spots. And I really like that. This car is very easy to negotiate in corners, tight corners, easy for parking because it's very easy to spin in tight quarters, but yet on the highway it doesn't feel really twitchy. It's very nicely set up that way. Now another thing I've really discovered driving this Toyota for a while is I've driven some other later model, other brands. I won't say any names at this time, but some of them actually seem to sustain a little bit of wind noise. And I'm not sure you can tell or not, but today we have some serious wind. I think we have probably about 90 kilometer an hour winds out here today. And it's actually just really gusseting. It's really buffeting pretty hard out here. You can feel it. I could barely stand still. The wind gusts were blowing me around. It almost blew the door out of my hands. But yet I can barely hear any wind noise once the doors are closed. That's one thing I noticed. This car feels, it's very, very sturdy. It's almost, it's very solid, very well put together, and I feel like you don't have to give up any of the quality necessarily and get economy at the same time. Obviously, there's a real sense of sturdy in this cabin when you've got the doors closed. It's very solid, and I love that too. So then you wonder, what is it I don't like about this particular RAV4? Well, if I can just summarize it, it's not the end of the world, because really what this boils down to is an economy vehicle, a great vehicle hauler, and it's meant to not break the bank. Now, what I like about this is the simple fact that obviously it does all those things great that I previously mentioned. What I don't like is the simple fact that the performance isn't really eye-watering. 176 horsepower was fine about 25 years ago. Today, it's a little bit malnourished. It feels a little bit light, and it's great for zinging around the city, but when you really kind of open it up on the highway, I feel that it's a little bit short, especially once you get over about 80 kilometers an hour. I find that it sort of flatlines and it really struggles to get up and hold that speed. And as you can see, not nearly as quick as the little BMW X1 I test drove a few weeks back. So if you like a zingy little hot rod, maybe it's not all that fast, but it's peppy, it's fun to drive, it won't break the bank, and it's not that expensive to own and operate, this is a great place to start if you want to shop for a nice family vehicle that's going to support all your active needs, hauling the kids around, whether it's just even a young family and you're just trying to do the little things day to day that life throws at you. So everybody, I hope you should like this little review on this RAV4. I recently got an experience to drive one, and I really actually do like the car. Overall, it's a comfortable commuter. It's quiet, it's sturdy, it's easy on fuel, it's very quiet interior wise, and it's not offensive. It's also equal to that, it's very attractive. And if you want a car that's going to do all that stuff for you and not break the bank, this is a great place to start and stop. Obviously, with its renowned Japanese reliability, you will not go too wrong buying a RAV4. So again, this is Mark again, guys. Hope you liked the video. Please make sure you check out more of my videos. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. Better than the BMW X1? No. Definitely better on fuel, a little bit more reliable, not as fun to drive.